Okay, paper highlighter fam, do not blink because the 90-day universe is serving chaos on a silver platter. And tonight's lineup has everything: flirtation with consequences, a divorce threat on set, money control accusations, family confrontations, and TLC mystery edits. First up, the Tell-All trailer is messy. Luke is openly flirting with Khloe right in front of her ex Johny, throwing shots like it's a sport. Until Khloe hints she knows a secret about Luke that could flip this rebound romance into a full scandal. And it gets uglier. Madelein allegedly throws shade at Khloe online, using that crying moment like a weapon. Meanwhile, Anthony and Manon's tell-all moment goes from tense to relationship emergency. Anthony claims he's been deleting messages from friends and even family to avoid Manon's jealousy. Manon fires back, emotions explode, and then she walks off saying she wants a divorce. Yeah, on camera, in real time. Next, Rick is getting dragged because viewers say he can flex international travel, but acts like buying Trisha a basic bathing suit is financial ruin, then allegedly flips it into a sugar daddy accusation. Fans are calling it cheap. Others are calling it control. And then Forrest's mom, Molly, arrives in the Philippines ready to confront Sheena's family. Accusations of lying, money issues, a tense dinner, Sheena crying under pressure, and Forrest looking more confused by the minute. Also, Johny and Sumit are teasing one story on the tell-all, divorce thoughts, while real-life updates show them reunited with his family for his birthday, smiling like the rift rumors might be overstated or carefully managed. And finally, viewers are spiraling over Elise and Joshua being basically missing from before the 90 days. People swear TLC quietly cut them, and the exclusive photos only fueled the theory something's off behind the scenes. If you love these deep dives, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because we're breaking down every receipt, every side-eye, every plot twist. Luke flirted with Khloe on the tell-all stage like he was auditioning for her next boyfriend, and Khloe's reaction made it feel like she's about to expose him on national TV. This matters because the tell-all trailer isn't just teasing a rebound, it's teasing a setup, and fans think Luke's smooth moment could blow up into a brand new scandal. So here's what the trailer chaos is serving. Khloe and Luke are both walking in single, or at least publicly single, after messy breakups, and the tell-all is basically turning their pain into primetime entertainment. Khloe's split with Johny wasn't a quiet fade-out. The storyline being teased is that she ended it after finding out he'd been cheating and allegedly asking other women for photos. So by the time she hits that reunion couch, Khloe isn't in let's talk it out mode. She's in I'm done and I'm not protecting you anymore mode. And then we've got Luke, fresh off his own breakup with Madelein. The chatter floating around is that Madelein left because she thought Luke was broke and couldn't keep up with her expensive lifestyle, basically implying money was part of the fracture. Since then, viewers swear Luke looks lighter, happier, like he's ready to move on fast, maybe too fast. Because the tell-all moment that's lighting up the internet, Luke openly flirts with Khloe right in front of her ex. No subtlety, no we'll talk later, just full confidence on the main stage. And he doesn't stop there. He takes a shot at Johny, basically calling him stupid for losing a great woman. It's the kind of line that's half compliment, half provocation, and you can practically feel the temperature in the room spike. At first, Khloe looks like she's enjoying the validation. After what she went through, who wouldn't? Luke is hyping her up, Johny is stuck watching it happen, and it starts to look like a public rebound moment unfolding in real time. But then the trailer swerves, because Khloe doesn't just sit there and soak it in, she flips it and drops what's framed as a shocking secret about Luke, something that makes the whole vibe go from new couple to wait, what? The way it's teased, it doesn't feel like harmless flirting anymore. It feels like deception, like Luke's tell-all confidence might be strategic and Khloe is ready to say the quiet part out loud. And the comments? Ruthless. People are obsessed with how Luke and Khloe look weirdly similar. Siblings, twins, even related. Plus, the matching colors have viewers convinced production is nudging a storyline. Some fans are cheering, saying Khloe looks happier and healthier. Others are warning she's about to go from one mess to another, and that Luke might be chasing the wrong thing entirely. So, is this a rebound romance, or is Khloe about to expose Luke so hard that the new couple storyline collapses before it even starts? Keep it locked, because the next tell-all moment looks even more explosive. Plus, Anthony and Manon's fight goes so far that someone storms off and the word divorce gets dropped on set. So here's what's making this tell-all moment feel different. It's not just two people bickering on a couch. It's a full-on power struggle getting exposed on a stage with cameras rolling. If you've been watching their season, you already know Anthony and Manon haven't been coasting. Their scenes have been tense, emotional, and packed with little disagreements that turn into big ones fast. But according to the tell-all chatter, the pressure didn't just build, it finally snapped. Let's rewind the context that made this hit so hard. Manon has been struggling with the move and the lifestyle shift. In an earlier episode, she opened up about having what she described as a panic attack while walking through their new town with her son. Heart racing, trouble breathing, feeling like the place was isolated and far from what she knows. And then came the practical complaints that turned into emotional ones. She talked about basic amenities feeling too far, like pharmacies and bakeries, and how even simple errands started feeling heavy. At one point, she literally stopped walking and said she needed time to process everything. Then, the next stress bomb. Manon said she planned to go back to Marseille to stay with her parents for nearly a month because she couldn't handle the quiet town. And to Anthony, that didn't sound like a break. It sounded like abandonment, like you stay here and carry the house and the stress alone while I reset. So when the tell-all arrives, you can basically feel Anthony's frustration sitting right under the surface. And then Anthony allegedly drops the claim that changed the entire room. He says Manon has been controlling major parts of his life, especially his communication with other people. He claims he deleted messages from friends to avoid making her jealous, and it didn't stop there. He even removed texts from family members because, in his words, she didn't want him talking to them. That's not a casual argument. That's an isolation dynamic, and the cast reaction is reportedly exactly what you'd expect. Jaws on the floor, vibes shifting instantly. Anthony frames it like he was trying to keep the peace, like if she saw those messages, it would turn into a blow-up. But the second he said it out loud, Manon's mood reportedly flipped. She got emotional, confronted him, and instead of zeroing in on the deleted messages, she fired back with a line that made it worse, basically questioning why anyone else mattered if Anthony should only be focused on her. And then comes the chaos move. She walks off mid-discussion, and as she leaves, she's reportedly heard saying she would like a divorce, turning what started as a tense conversation into a possible end-of-marriage moment right there on set. Online, fans went feral. Many say Anthony looks exhausted and calm, while Manon looks overwhelmed and defensive. Others argue the control convo shouldn't be brushed off, because if the roles were reversed, people would be calling it out louder. So, was that walk-off a heat-of-the-moment meltdown, or the first real sign that this marriage is already past the point of saving? Don't touch that dial, because the next story is pure money and control mess. We're heading straight into Rick versus Trish drama, where a simple bathing suit request turns into sugar daddy accusations, and viewers start yelling, "Run." Viewers are watching Rick live this international man of mystery lifestyle, traveling to places like Nigeria, Colombia, Madagascar, just casually collecting passport stamps like Pokemon cards, then turning around and acting shook when it's time to show up in a basic everyday relationship way. And that contradiction is what has the comment section on fire. According to the chatter, the swimsuit moment wasn't even about Trish demanding designer labels. She wasn't asking for diamonds. She just wanted him to buy her something small, something normal that says, "I'm here with you, I've got you." And instead of a simple sure, or even a calm let's talk about money, Rick allegedly flips it into a whole sugar daddy, sugar baby meltdown. Like her asking for a bathing suit automatically means she's trying to use him. And that flip is what people can't get over, because it's not just frugal, it's defensive. Viewers are saying his first instinct wasn't to communicate, it was to accuse. And once you accuse your partner of having an agenda over something that basic, it stops being a money conversation and starts feeling like a character assassination. Then the comments got ruthless. People are dragging him for being able to fund trips and vacation vibes, but suddenly acting broke when it's time for the basics of partnership. And the theories start multiplying. Some viewers are convinced he's fronting, like he wants to look loaded on camera, but behind the scenes, the budget is hanging by a thread. The words credit cards, maxed out, and debt are flying around like confetti. But the spiciest angle? Control. A chunk of fans aren't labeling him cheap, they're labeling him controlling. They think he uses money like a leash, big, flashy spending when it benefits his image, then tight-fisted rules when it benefits his power. One commenter's vibe is basically, he's looking for someone he can control, and the swimsuit fight was just the moment the mask slipped. Of course, not everyone is automatically Team Trish. Some viewers are like, why is she asking a man she just met to buy her things? Others argue she can buy her own swimsuit. And a few people point out that being careful with money doesn't always mean being broke. It can mean being smart. But here's why people still aren't letting Rick breathe. It's the inconsistency. If he was frugal across the board, fine. If he was openly budgeting, fine. But when you'll spend on flights and fun, then shame your partner over something small, it reads less like discipline and more like manipulation. And then the thread goes darker, because once viewers smell hypocrisy, they start asking about everything. There's even cheating chatter popping up, with people wondering if Rick has admitted what he needs to admit, or if he's the type to accuse her while moving shady himself. And once that label sticks, every move becomes suspicious. So, is Rick genuinely cautious with money, or is this the first big red flag that he wants the perks of a relationship without the responsibility? And just when you think we're done, this tell-all mess gets even pettier. Because up next, Madelein is allegedly throwing shade at Khloe online after Luke flirts on stage. And it's giving jealousy, chaos, and receipt season. The tell-all trailer drops, and fans are already spiraling over Luke turning into Mr. Bold on stage, flirting with Khloe in front of Johny like it's his personal highlight reel. And while the internet is still debating whether this is rebound energy or producer-fueled chaos, Madelein allegedly jumps in with the move that screams, "Oh, we're doing this now." Because according to the story-making rounds, Madelein is not just annoyed, she's over Khloe. The narrative being pushed is that Luke calling Khloe a catch in the tell-all trailer hit a nerve, and Madelein responded by posting an Instagram story that people are reading as direct shade. The alleged tactic? She created a layout featuring Khloe, then used it to imply Khloe is fickle-minded and plays innocent when it benefits her. And here's where it gets extra. Madelein allegedly frames Khloe as someone who cries when she's the one getting cheated on, but doesn't want accountability when she's the one doing wrong. She's basically accusing Khloe of acting innocent while being messy behind the scenes. The vibe is, you can't be the victim and the villain at the same time. But the storyline doesn't stop at shade. It drags Luke right into it too, because there's also chatter that Madelein never fully trusted Luke in the first place, even though they ended up married in Colombia after explosive fights. And now people are speculating they may have split way sooner than anyone thought. Like Luke allegedly left her back in her home country while he's in America living like a bachelor. Reddit-style rumors claim he's been messaging random women asking for dates. Meanwhile, Johny's also getting side-eyed because some viewers think he's using his single status to stir things up with other women too. Basically, everyone's messy, nobody's innocent, and the tell-all is just the match hitting the gasoline. Now, back to the most savage detail, the crying scene. In this version of the story, when Johny told Khloe to take her things out of his house, Khloe discovered more cheating evidence, like rings that didn't belong to her, and she broke down. And the claim is that Madelein used that image, Khloe crying, as a weapon in her online shade campaign. That's why fans are calling it petty, cruel, and also kind of calculated. Because if Khloe's tell-all moment is, I have a secret about Luke, then Madelein's move feels like, I'm going to discredit you before you speak. And that's where the internet starts asking, is Madelein jealous or protecting her marriage or trying to control the storyline before it controls her? So is this just tell-all pettiness, or are we watching Madelein try to take Khloe down before Khloe exposes Luke and blows up everyone's version of the truth? Don't go anywhere, because the next story is a full family confrontation brewing overseas. Up next, Forrest's mom, Molly, arrives in the Philippines ready to confront Sheena's family about lies, money, and what's really been happening behind the scenes. All right, so here's what's cooking. 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 8, is building a conflict that feels like it's about to turn into a full family war, and the catalyst is Forrest's mother, Molly. In the teaser for the upcoming episode, Molly finally makes her entrance in the Philippines, and the vibe is not nice to meet you, it's we need answers right now. The backstory is already messy. Molly and Sheena haven't been good for a while because Molly believes Sheena has been lying, and not just little white lies. The accusation floating around is that Sheena and her family have been avoiding the truth about their finances for a long time, and that Forrest is getting pulled into something he doesn't fully understand. So when Molly shows up, it's framed like the moment the polite pretending ends. And according to the teaser, Forrest is actually relieved she's there, which tells you everything about how shaky things have gotten. In his confessional, he admits he's hoping his mom can help figure out what's really happening behind the scenes. Translation? He doesn't feel like he's getting the full story from Sheena, and now he needs backup. Then comes the dinner scene that reportedly sets the whole thing on fire. Molly sits down with Sheena's parents at their bed and breakfast, and she doesn't tiptoe. She goes straight in with the claim that Sheena told them she was mistreated if she didn't send her parents money. That's the line that makes the room freeze, because Sheena's parents are reportedly stunned, like they genuinely don't understand why these accusations are being thrown at them, and they're looking around like, where is this even coming from? And this is where the emotional pressure cooker pops. Sheena starts crying. Not a cute one-tear moment, more like overwhelmed, cornered, and drowning between two sides. Because on one hand, you've got Molly demanding answers and implying there's a money hustle happening. On the other hand, you've got Sheena's family being accused of something serious, on camera. And in the middle, Sheena, trying to hold it together while her relationship gets interrogated like a courtroom case. Meanwhile, Forrest admits he feels more confused than ever, especially with the added layer of money concerns, like the mention of money taken from their joint account. That detail is the kind of thing that turns family conflict into trust emergency, because once joint money gets involved, it's not just drama, it's consequences. So now the big question isn't even whether Molly is being too harsh. It's whether she's saying out loud what Forrest has been too scared to admit, that something isn't adding up. And when a parent comes in hot like this, it usually means one of two things. Either they're about to expose the truth, or they're about to push the couple right off the cliff. Is Molly actually protecting Forrest from a financial mess, or is this going to backfire so hard that it forces Sheena to pick her family over her relationship? Up next, Sumit and Johny are reuniting with his family amid rift rumors, and the timing is raising eyebrows. All right, let's talk about the whiplash, because this update is giving, are we breaking up or are we thriving? On the one hand, the tell-all setup has Johny admitting she's been struggling. She even teased that she's considered divorce in the upcoming episodes. That's not a casual statement. That's the kind of line that makes fans brace for a meltdown, especially with their history, culture clashes, money stress, intimacy issues, and the never-ending tug-of-war with Sumit's family. But then, real life comes in and flips the script. According to the latest chatter, Johny and Sumit have been dropping major hints that they've moved out of the family home. And for longtime viewers, that's a huge deal because living with the in-laws has always been a pressure cooker. The vibe lately is that they're back in their own space, doing couple life on their own terms. And honestly, that alone can change everything. And here's what's got fans talking the most. Johny shared happy moments with Sumit's family on Sumit's birthday, like full "we're all together" energy. She reportedly posted a photo on Facebook with Sumit and his whole family, parents, brothers, sister-in-law, the whole lineup. They were out at a cafe celebrating, and Johny looked genuinely happy. Not stiff smile happy, not posing for peace happy, just happy. Naturally, the comments split into two camps. Camp A is like, finally, growth. People were saying Sumit looks really happy, that they look like a lovely couple, and that it's nice to see everyone in the same frame without tension dripping off the walls. And then you've got Camp B, aka the skeptics, who don't trust anything with this family. Some fans immediately brought up that infamous cricket match moment where Sumit's mom hit Johny on the head with a ball, and they're like, yeah, these dynamics don't change overnight. And Johny reportedly addressed that vibe too, basically making it clear that certain drama happened a long time ago because what we see on TV can be filmed months earlier. That's the part a lot of viewers forget. The tell-all can be teasing conflicts from a period where things were worse, while social media is showing what's happening now. There's also a detail fans keep circling back to. Johny previously suggested that the living arrangement might shift, with the in-laws living in the same apartment setup, but separately, like a compromise everyone could tolerate. And if that's the case, this birthday reunion could be less "everything is perfect" and more "we've negotiated a truce." So where does that leave us? In classic 90-day territory, two different narratives running at the same time. The show wants you to believe the marriage is on the edge, social media is showing family smiles and stability, and fans are trying to figure out if the tell-all is about to reveal problems that are still happening, or are Johny and Sumit already past the worst of it, and TLC is just squeezing the drama for ratings. Up next, Elise and Joshua have basically vanished from the season, and fans think TLC quietly cut them out, and the clues are getting weirder. Okay, so here's the mystery that's driving viewers nuts. 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days rolled out a brand new season, dropped cast info, and Elise and Joshua were included, so fans expected to see them by now. But instead, weeks go by, multiple episodes air, and they still haven't popped up even once. No intro package, no scenes, no next time on tease, just gone. Naturally, the internet did what it does, started connecting dots like it's a true crime board. A lot of viewers are accusing TLC of quietly cutting them from the show without saying it out loud, because the absence isn't subtle anymore. It's loud. People keep asking, did something happen behind the scenes? Did the storyline fall apart? Or did the network decide this couple was too messy or not messy enough to make the cut? And then there's the detail fans say is especially suspicious. When the franchise released exclusive pictures of the cast, most couples looked like they were photographed together in the same vibe, same setting, same moment. But Elise and Joshua? Viewers noticed they didn't look like they were under the same roof. Different outfits, different energy, like the pics were taken separately and stitched into a couple narrative. That detail poured gasoline on the theory that something is off between them, like maybe they weren't even together by the time filming or promo rolled around. And once fans believe that, the next leap is obvious. If the relationship wasn't real-time functional, maybe TLC didn't have enough usable footage or didn't want to explain the mess on screen. Still, not everyone's convinced it's a scandal. Some viewers think TLC is just saving them for later, like a late season surprise, a 1 or 2 episode arc, or a quick wrap-up story. Others are joking that production loves Elise so much they'd never fully drop her, and they'll replace Joshua if they have to. So, are Elise and Joshua about to appear with a plot twist, or did TLC quietly edit them out because the storyline didn't survive filming? If you enjoyed this breakdown, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next meltdown. Drop your hot take in the comments, Team Khloe, Team Nobody, or Team TLC is producing this to filth. And follow us on socials for extra clips, updates, and behind-the-scenes tea. This is Paper Highlighter, and until next time, stay highlighted, stay unbothered.